Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be learning CSS animations. I know you have been interacting with some various websites here and there, and you have came across with some animations and you wonder how such animations are made. Don't worry, because today we are going to be learning about such kind of animations. We are going to talk about animation names, animation durations, timing functions, timing animation delays, animation iteration count, animation directions, and animation playstate. If you have never heard of such words, don't worry, because I'm going to be explaining each and everything as we move on. So before we move on, I believe that you have a small knowledge on HTML and also on CSS. If you have not watched the CSS crash course or the HTML crash course that I made, make sure that you watch them after watching this video, or you can pause this video and click the link in the description, and you will be directed to where those tutorials are, and you're going to be learning a lot from such tutorials. Enough of stories, let's jump in. So right now, as you can see, I have opened my code editor. I usually use VS Code, but if you have another code editor, it will work the same. And here I have only opened a folder that is called CreepPath tutorial. It is the same folder that I used another day, and the only thing that I have in this folder, it is this image. I believe you can see it clearly. It is only this image, and it is my logo that I am using currently. So if you don't know how to open a folder, the only thing you do is to click on this file here, and you can open folder. Then now you can choose the folder that you want. So in this case, I'm going to be using this CreepPath tutorial folder, and then I'm going to click it, then I'm going to select folder, and then now I can close that one. And now what I want, I only want to open here and create an index.html file. Index.html. Okay, what am I doing? Index.html, like that, and then I'm going to place tab, and then I'm going to create another file also called style.css. Remember, you can use any word, but ensure that it ends with .html and .css. This tells the code editor that it is a HTML file that you are creating. So I'm just going to close that one, and inside my index.html, I'm just going to place exclamation mark, and then I'm going to press enter, and inside here document, I'm just going to type CSS animations, CSS animations, and I can link to our CSS. So I can link to CSS, something like this, CSS plus tab, and then you can see that our style.css name here. And now remember, I made a HTML tutorial talking about each and everything inside the HTML. So inside here, the body, I'm just going to create an image tag, which I'm going to be using to explain each and everything and to show you how the animations work. So source, in this source name, I'm just going to type this name of this my image logo that I have here. So I'm going to say dev. So I'm just going to come back here in source, and then I'm going to say it's dev, and then you can see my code editor asking me whether it is whether that logo is the one that I want to referring, and I can press enter, and then now I can close this side, and then I can control save. And if you are using Mac, you can press command S, and then you can save. And then now I will come to my, I'm going to where my folder is located here, the ClickPath tutorial. I'm going to open it, and you can see now that we have an index.html file here and style.css here, and also our logo image here. So I'm just going to open this index.html using my browser, and you can see that the image is the logo is so big. So I know you are a little bit striving to see it. So let me work on that so that we can be on the same page. So what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to take this image, and I'm just going to image, and I'm just going to give it a width of, maybe let me use 300 pixels, and a height of 300 pixels also, 300 pixels also, and also I can give it a margin left, maybe let me use a margin left of maybe, let's say 30%, 30%, and also a margin top of like maybe 3%, and then I can control and save. And now if we go back to our and we refresh, if we go back to our browser and refresh, I'm using a Chrome browser, so I believe you can see. So maybe I can do something, I can do work on the background color of the body such that our image can be visible. So I'm just going to come here, and before the body, before the image, I can just say I want to the body, and I want to the background color, I want it maybe to be, maybe I don't know whether how black it will look like, but let's try and see. So I'm just going to refresh, and then okay, now at least it looks something, it is something good, so we can at least we can see. So I'm just going to come here, and I'm just going to reduce this one to 2%, because I'm using almost half of my screen so that it's visible. So right now you can see that where we have only our logo visible, and it is the one that you're going to be working with so that you can understand how the CSS animations work. So let's assume that what you're going to, okay, before we even start, I'm going to be differentiating between transition and animations. Transitions, it is how the change occurs. Like you want maybe a car to move from one place to another, but a transition in that case, it is how fast that car, it is how fast or how slow that car will move. And but when it comes to animations, it is that change of the position of that car. But I'm going to be explaining with examples here, so don't worry about that. So what you're going to do is you're going to be using something called some attribute called at keyframes. So what you're going to do, we're going to create at keyframes here, at keyframes, at keyframes here, and you can see that at keyframes, and then after these at keyframes here, we are now required to give the name of that animation. So maybe for this one, I'm just going to say the name is okay, rotate, okay, rotate, okay, rotate logo, rotate logo, something like that. And then now inside here, inside these curly brackets, you can see that inside these curly brackets, now we have to to explain to our computer that we want this animation to start from this point, and we want it to end at this point. So so we are going to say flow. This is the current position where the animation will start, and also we're going to say after that one we are going to say to now where we want the animation to end up. That is our destination, that is where we want by the end of these animations we want to be. So maybe we can say that we want the animation to end when the maybe we'll say we want to transform, well, we want to move our logo from the current state to maybe to move on the right side. So we can say transform translate, maybe transform translate maybe x, that is on the x-axis, and we want it to move to maybe 700 pixels. I don't know whether it's going to do that. So when we have these animations of we want this one, this our name logo to move from where it is, and that's why I've not indicated where it's going to be to start from. So but I can also say I want it maybe to start from, so I can say translate, okay, transform translate, maybe this is where it's going to start from. So we're dealing with x-axis, so it is translate x. So maybe we want it to start from maybe okay, maybe 200 pixels on the x-axis, something like that. And now what you're going to do is you're going to come here from in our image now, and we can say now we want the animation, maybe the animation, and the animation, now we have to give the animation name. And in this case our animation name is the rotate logo. That is our animation name, rotate logo. I don't know whether I have spelled that one very well. So the rotate logo, and then now what you want is the duration, the animation duration. So below this one we can just say animation duration, and animation duration, it is how long will that animation take. So maybe you can say maybe you want it to take 2 seconds. You can use milliseconds, but in most cases I like using seconds. Also we can talk about something else called animation delay. Animation delay, it is how long the animation will take before actually starting. So we're going to give animation delay of maybe 1 second. This is just to give you a clue on how each and everything works. Also, we're going to talk about something called animation iteration count. Now, animation iteration count, I will also ensure that each and everything, you know how each and everything works. So animation iteration count, it is the number of times the animation will come or will occur. So in this case, I'm just going to give it 2 times. And also we're going to talk about something else called animation play state. And animation play state, let me use animation play state, animation play state, okay, long animation play state. And now this animation play state, it is whether it is how it is the condition of the animation. Is the animation playing or is the animation paused? So we're going to be only giving this animation play state only two. It is either paused or learning. Okay, that is the condition of the animation. So in this case we're going to say it is learning. Then we're going to be talking about another important thing, animation direction. So animation direction, okay, not there, just going to go like that. Animation direction, animation direction, okay, animation direction. And here we're going to be talking about how the animation is going. Is it going in forward, or is it going in reverse, or is it going in alternate? In alternate means it goes to forward and then reverse and then into forward and then into reverse. Okay, so I'm just going to give it alternate in this case. So let me scroll up a bit so that you can see. So you can see that right now we have the animation, and that is the animation name. We have animation duration, that is 2 seconds, animation delay, and animation iteration count, and also animation play state and animation direction. Okay, so let's take a look on our browser to see whether this animation is running. So what you are supposed to do is just save by Control S, and then now we can come to our browser, and then now we can hit refresh, and you can see it has it has taken, our animation has taken 1 second delay. Let me show you. When I refresh, you can see that the animation has delayed for 1 second before starting. So if I come here in our code editor, and inside the animation, inside the animation delay, I remove the animation delay. I can just cut that on. If I do that and then I control and come to the browser and refresh, and when I refresh, you will see that the animation will start instantly without dilation. So let's see. You can see now the animation doesn't have a delay, so it starts instant when I refresh the page. So that is, maybe in some cases you want, maybe when the user is already settled in the website, that is when now the animation starts. So that is in such conditions that you're going to be using the animation delay. Also, let me show you, or let me do let me okay let me use it again. Let me use animation delay again, and then now if I save and then I refresh here, you can see that it is taking 1 second to do what, it is taking a delay of 1 second, and then the animation starts. Now let me also take, maybe okay, let me don't let me not use this one, this and this, let me remove it. Okay, so that at least you have a clue of animation, of how animation delay works. So what I'm going to be taking you through is something called animation duration. Animation duration, it is how long the animation will take. So in this case, we have been using 2 seconds. So let's take maybe 4 seconds and see what's going to happen. So we're going to our browser, then you're going to refresh, and you can see now our logo is moving slower because we have the animation duration. It's like the time that we want the logo to get to that point. So it's going to divide that time by when it wants to get to that point. So it's going to go maybe with a slow speed, or maybe when you reduce the time, it's going to learn faster, so that it makes to the destination before the end of that time. So maybe if I reduce this one to 1 second, maybe you can see it clear. And then when I refresh, you can see how fast it is going. So that is how the animation duration works. So animation iteration count, it is the number of the animations that you want it to work. So in this case we have two. So if we maybe we add it to 4, maybe you can see that it's going to learn for maybe like 4 times. So if you do that, you can see that it's going for maybe it's going learning for 2. So it's maybe, yeah, that is the number of times the animations that it will go. So if okay, so let's go on to the animation play state. Animation play state, it is whether the animation is running or paused. So in this case it is running. So if I take this one and use post, and then I save, and then I refresh here. If I refresh, you can see that the logo is not moving. That is because it is still has the animation, but the animation itself is not learning, because we have declared a value of post in the animation play state. So it is not going well. So by this animation play state, you can see, I believe you can see the wonders that you can do with it when you start to interact with JavaScript. And now you can install such buttons that you can install buttons in HTML that are going to be controlling the animations in the website. So don't worry about that. When you understand the animations and then you jump into the JavaScript, you're going to get to know how you can do that. So let me also tell you about the animation direction. Animation direction, it is where the animation is heading. So it is how the animation is like moving. It is maybe moving forward, reverse, or it may be also moving one step forward, then one step backward, like that. And that is what is called alternate. But if we say forward here, let me say forward, like that. Maybe save, and if I refresh, okay, the animation play state is still post, so we have to turn it to make learning, it learn. So it's going to be learning. Then if we hit refresh here, you can see that, you see, it is only moving forward, okay, and it's going now the number of times that okay, let's get back here to animation. It was animation iteration count. The animation iteration count, if you can remember, when this was alternate, let me take it back to alternate. When it was in alternate and I refresh here, you can see that it is only like moving into the forward 2 times. But in the iteration count, we have indicated 4, and that is because it is moving 2 times into the forward and then 2 times reverse. So that is how the animation direction works. So when it is in alternate, it is moving 2 times forward and 2 times backward, and when it is in forward, it is moving let me show you. When it is moving in forward, it is moving 4 times forward. It is not counting reverse. So you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then that is the same case it will do when we put it in reverse. So when we put it in reverse and save and hit refresh, you can see that 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is how the animation works. So with this, you can be able to adjust a lot and a lot and a lot. So let's go back here into the animation, to the keyframes. So we have only learned from and to, but there is a lot that you can do from this. So you can say we can, instead of using from and to, you can use values from 0% to 100%. And 0%, it is where we want to start. So in this case, if I use 0% here, and instead of 2, I use 100%, because that is the end. That is what we want to get at the end. And I save. You can see that it is the same result that you're going to get, because at 0% it is where we are starting, and at 100% it is where we want to end up. So you can with the values from 0% to 100%, you can see the wonders that you can do. So maybe I can say that in 50%, okay, in 50%, maybe I want to change, okay, maybe in 50% I want to change I want maybe to rotate. Okay, so I want to rotate so I'm going to use transform rotate. Okay, rotate, and I want it to rotate maybe 360 degrees, maybe 360 degrees, something like that, 360 degrees. And also I want maybe the border radius of the border radius, I want it to go to 50%, like that. And if I hit control and save and then refresh, okay, before I refresh, I'm just going to reduce the number of iteration counts to 1, and then okay, yeah, and then I can save. Then now I can go to our web browser and hit refresh, and you can see now at 50% it is but it is moving faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to increase the animation duration to maybe 3 seconds. Then I refresh, yeah, and you can see now that is at 50%. It is border radius, it is coming to a circle, because simple. So let me also use this border radius here at the end so that you can see it clear. So I'm just going to copy that, copy, then I'm just going to come here to paste, then I can save, and then okay, let me take this one above here a little bit here, and then I can go to our browser and refresh, and you can see now the our it is starting from maybe it is starting from okay, it is in reverse. Okay, yeah, it is in reverse, and that's why we can see that also animation direction I can change it to forward so that our animation looks a little bit good. So you can save that, and then you can go to our browser and refresh. You can see now how smooth it is. Okay, so it is starting, maybe when it starts, it starts from how it looks like right now, but at 50% it is changing, and then it moves up to there. So that is how you can do a lot with animations, and each and every time animations are animations, then you must use art keyframes. So this is how you animate your website. So you can do a lot, you can do a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot with this. So we can also say that maybe we don't want it to start from, so we can state it, maybe we want it to start from maybe 200 pixels, but we don't want it to end at 700 pixels. So you can change these values to maybe zero pixels, or maybe you can say, so maybe you can also add something here, transform, maybe transform, maybe transform, rotate, yeah, rotate 0 degrees, yeah, at start 0 degrees, yeah, and maybe instead of this transform being this one being here, you can okay, yeah, okay, maybe we can do this, we can rotate it here, and then now we can remove this border radius here like that, so that maybe let's see how it's going to work. So we can save that one, and then you can go and you can refresh, and you can see, yeah, you can see now how it works. It is our animation is first starts it first rotate it first starts where it is, and then at 50% it rotates, and then at 100% it is still rotates 360 degrees, and ends up on something called maybe, so it is changing now into a circle. But and also there are also a lot of animations that you can also do a lot with animation. So you can just, when you just even type the animation, so you don't have to remember each and everything about the animation, and you can you don't have to understand the animation directions and remember or play state, or you just need to understand how they work, but you don't have to clam each and everything, because when you just type animations or animation, it's going to take you, the code editor that you're using, and this is why I like using this is why I like using the VS Code, because like you can see, like right now I have only typed animation, and then you can see it's giving me animation timing function, animation duration, animation name, animation delays. All of these are they are related to animation. So maybe let's see whether what is animation range, animation range end. So we can say this is maybe you can give a value of maybe forward. Let's see whether it's going to work. You can give a value of forward. I don't know whether it's going to work. So if we save, there's a lot of things that you're not going to do what, you're not going to be interacting with them each and every day, because in most of the time you are going to be finding out that some of these animations properties you don't have to use them each and every day. So you only need to know how they work, and then with that you can be now able to interact with animations and approach animations whenever they occur in your project. So that is all about animations, and also curiosity on how animation works. It's so good because it makes you try some various animations, how to do on them. And remember, when it comes to coding, don't watch tutorials each and every day. It is good to maybe to get your hands dirty, because if you fail to do that, then you may find yourself in a condition called tutorial hell, which is real, and you may end up finding yourself quitting, because how you are learning is you are learning to quit, not learning to code. So before you leave, ensure that you hit the subscription button, like, share, and also turn on the notification bell, so that whenever I upload such videos, you're going to be the first one to be notified. See you on the next.